Hi guys, thanks so much for tuning into this video. I am Theo, and if you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody's having a good week. I just hope everything is going good for you. And if you're not having the best day or the best week, I hope it gets better. So y'all, let's go ahead and dive right into this video. I have a bone to pick with the open relationship gays. I really do. I have such a bone to pick with y'all. So y'all, I want to preface this video first off that I completely accept and understand ethical non-monogamous relationships. Like, I think whatever works for you romantically in your relationship, that works for you. And I even made a video probably about a year ago about poly relationships and open relationships and non-monogamy and monogamy within the gay community. So I'm definitely going to plug that right here. So go check out that video. But y'all, definitely, I have no issue with people that want to be in open relationships and polyamory and non-monogamy. I have no issue with that. I support it, all of the above. But y'all, there's definitely some nuances and dynamics when it comes to dealing with men that are open relationships that can just be very exhausting, very frustrating, and honestly just annoying, for lack of a better word. I also want to preface that I actually was in a non-monogamous relationship last summer. It was a short-lived relationship. You know, we are friends now, but I definitely want to give my thoughts, and even from that experience, why open relationships and just the dynamics that sometimes can happen are frustrating and annoying. And then also, as an avid reader, I talked about this book before on my channel, but I read this book last summer called Polysecure. My ex actually we actually read it together. But y'all, it's such a super insightful book on just attachment styles, all the different types of relationships you can have that fall under the umbrella of ethical non-monogamy. It also talks about the expectations, the communication, all of the levels of care and consideration and understanding and communication that you have to utilize to be able to be in a non-monogamous relationship, to be able to be in an open relationship. It takes a lot of work. So I definitely recommend this book if you are in an open relationship, think about being in an open relationship. Even if you are monogamous, the type of communication and expectations and things it talks about when it comes to being in a relationship is just so important. And also, even the last chapter talks a lot about just the importance of loving yourself and being in love with yourself and being in tune with yourself, and basically that if you aren't even in tune with yourself, then you can't be in love with anybody. So it's an amazing book. I recommend it. Okay, so as a single person who is not looking to be in a serious relationship right now or for the foreseeing future for me, not really interested in seeking a relationship, you know, I'm out here living my best single life. I go to circuit parties, I go to bathhouses, I travel and turn up and hook up. You know, I do a lot of things that gay adults do when they're single. That is just how I roll right now. So obviously I'm gonna come across a lot of men that are in non-monogamous relationships. Even at regular gay bars, I come across a lot of men that are in open relationships or poly or all of the above. So I come across these type of men often. So that's why I really want to discuss my experience and just how frustrating it can be dealing with them sometimes. Now, my biggest issue with open relationships gays is a lot of them don't seem to communicate the boundaries and rules with their partner on what to expect and how the dynamics should flow within the relationship. At the end of the day, when you're in an open relationship, you do have to discuss boundaries and rules and what is the dynamic of your open relationship. Now, I'm using open relationship as kind of like an overarching term right now for like non-monogamy, but honestly, y'all, there's multiple different types of relationships you can have when you are non-monogamous. You could be in an open relationship, you could be monogamish, you could be polyfidelity, you could be solo poly non-hierarchical. So definitely research on it. But I think at the end of the day, if you're gonna be in a non-monogamous relationship, you need to first define what kind of non-monogamous relationship you're in. And I feel like a lot of gay men in open relationships or in non-monogamous relationships do not do that. They just kind of just learn as they go, I guess, and kind of just, you know, say they have this title, but they really don't go through the depths and pull back the layers of what needs to be talked about when they're in these open relationships. And that's my biggest issue. Because y'all, even just this probably a week ago, I was in a bar talking to this guy, you know, because honestly, y'all, if I'm out at the bar, I'm either looking for friends or I'm looking for hookups. I'm either looking to make new friends, build my gay community, or I'm looking to hook up with guys. Like, that's pretty much it. So I'm talking to this guy, and you know, we're flirting, we're catching a vibe. Then I ask him, I'm like, are you in a relationship? Because I'm starting now to ask that all the time, y'all. I didn't used to ask that, but I'm asking that all the time now because dudes try to get you caught up. So I said, are you in a relationship? And he's like, yeah, I'm in a relationship. I'm like, so are you guys open? He's like, yeah, we're open, but we're not open. And I'm like, so y'all, at that point, I'm already over it. Because I kind of have been around this rodeo. I see how things go. So, but I'm just bored. So I'm asking the question. I'm like, so what do you mean you're not open? And he's just like, it's just complicated. And then I'm like, well, that's good for you guys. And I'm like, well, I'm going to go back to my friends. He like grabs my arm. He's like, why are you leaving? I said, because you have a man and it's complicated. That doesn't seem like something I want to be involved in. And if you're open, I feel like you should be able to explain how you're open. Like, I just feel like y'all, words mean things mean things, all the things. I feel like if you're in an open relationship, you should be able to explain that to someone so I know exactly what the boundaries and the rules are so I don't get caught up. Because y'all are in a relationship, and one thing I've learned when I've talked to guys and date and mess with guys in open relationships, their relationship is always going to trump everything, which it should. They are the primary partners to each other. It should trump everything. But you are just usually a casualty of their drama, or your feelings and how you are involved with them is just a casualty. So you have to remember that. So if somebody cannot explain the dynamics of their open relationship, then I'm going to step away and let that be, because I'm at a place now where I just don't like dealing with drama, and a lot of couples have drama. I just don't want to be the center of your drama, the center of your problems, because I just don't care enough. And honestly, there's just so many gay men that are down to have fun that I don't need to waste my time with you. You know what I'm saying? Another experience I had within an open relationship couple was when I was vacationing in Puerto Vallarta this past New Year's. It was so much fun. So if you are a gay guy, definitely go there for New Year's in Mexico. It is amazing. I definitely recommend. So much fun. So I was at this circuit party in the hills of PV, y'all, which was gorgeous. It was so cool. It was all these villas. It was an outside dance floor. It was all these hookup rooms. It was lit. So whatever. So y'all, I'm in an area hooking up with this guy. We get done hooking up. It was super fun. We get done hooking up, and literally, as we stand up, and then his boyfriend is standing right there, which I didn't know. And the guy introduced me. He was like, oh, this is my boyfriend. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you had a boyfriend. He's like, yeah. And his boyfriend's like, yeah, he has a boyfriend, and you're welcome. You're welcome. And I'm like, for what? And he's like, you're welcome for getting a hookup with my man. And y'all, I blew his man's world. So I responded, and I'm like, well, your man's welcome for experiencing me. And then I walk away, you know? And I'm just like, first off, why is your boyfriend coming at me? Why do I even have to meet your boyfriend? Why does he feel the need to tell me that I'm welcome? It's just the insecurity that a lot of people have that's in these relationships, y'all. I cannot deal, and it's not for me to manage. And honestly, if I'm hooking up with you and it's a one-time thing, why do I even need to meet your man? We're on vacation. Why do I need to meet your man? Why you should introduce me to your man? You know, why? You know, and especially if he's going to come at me with some nasty energy talking about you're welcome. And then, y'all, after that, every time I saw them at a party or somewhere after that, when I say his man was me mugging me and then the dude I hooked up with wouldn't speak, it's just like, it is what it is, but it's just like, what's the issue? Like, I'm single living my best life, and then you, yet again, are bringing me into your drama. Now your man is me mugging me just because what? Why? Because I hooked up with you at a circuit party where that's what you do, and I'm on vacation? Like, let's be for real. But it's like, if I wanted to be involved in drama, I could have really popped off and match the energy with his man, but it was like, I'm just not even trying to do all that. I'm on vacation. And I honestly do not care about your relationship at all. You know, at the end of the day, I'm just hooking up with you, and you didn't even tell me you were in a relationship before we hooked up, so why would I care? How would I know? You know? So that's another instance of just like, why? And then there's been other instances where I've hooked up with guys, you know, in LA, or I've hooked up with couples or married couples in LA. And, you know, first we're cool. We're like hooking up more than once, and it's a vibe. Or I'm hooking up with one of them. He tells me they're in an open relationship. It doesn't matter. But then, like, we slowly stop hooking up, which is fine. But then, you know, when I see them out, they don't speak, or their boyfriend's me mugging me. Or when I go try to say hi to both of them, because I know both of them, they want to give me like a fake auntie hug, or they just don't, or some of them just don't speak at all. And this has happened to a couple of my other friends too that I hooked up with couples. Like, the couple starts becoming rude to them and mean to them. And what I've come to realize, that a lot of couples, they have a rule where, like, you can't date or you can't catch feelings for somebody outside the relationship, where they're in an open relationship, they're primary partners to each other, and every person they pursue outside of that is just for physical, it's not nothing serious, it's casual, so that they can't catch feelings or they can't show interest in somebody else, which is totally fine. I get that. But the thing about men is what I realize, there's no middle ground from not catching feelings to being rude as fuck. Like they will, there's no middle ground. They don't know how to be nice and just be a casual hookup. It's either I'm not catching feelings or I'm being rude and acting like you don't exist. Which, like I said, at the end of the day, if you're just a hookup, it's totally fine. But at the end of the day, like, why can't you be friends or build some type of just like coolness with somebody you're hooking up with if you know as the person on the outside you have no interest in breaking up this home or being in a relationship with anybody? A lot of us single gays, we just want to hook up and that's it. We don't care. We're not trying to be a part of your relationship. We're not trying to break up at your relationship. If we have a cute kiki, if we both like RuPaul's Drag Race or something, I'm not trying to take your man. But why is it such a crime to want to be friends or some type of level of connection with the person you're hooking up with? You know what I'm saying? Especially if you guys are the ones that are opening up your relationship. You know, it's just weird. But that's one thing I've learned is that people are just so insecure and they open their relationships, but they're not really ready for the dynamics that happen when you're open. And I feel like the casualty of war, the casualty is always going to be the person on the outside, which makes sense. But I feel like there's still a level I think is respect. There's still a level of like, I just think consideration and niceness you should have for somebody that you're sleeping with, regardless if they are your boyfriend or not. I don't know. I just think that's just another level of why I honestly prefer to leave open relationship guys alone, because I feel like there's just this lack of respect and they always feel like you're threatening their relationship. And I just rather not deal with that for a hookup. It's just not that deep when I'm not even that invested or care that much to break up anything, when I'm personally not looking for a relationship myself. You know what I'm saying? And I really do think, like, to be in any type of ethical non-monogamous relationship, you have to be very strong at fighting insecurity and fighting jealousy and be really secure in your relationship. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people are not secure enough to be in a non-monogamous relationship. Yes, it sounds great to be able to have a main partner and hook up with other people and all the above, but I think ultimately most people are not secure enough. Most people are jealous. Most people feel threatened by somebody else being around their partner, around their person. And I think there has a lot to do with just the fact that we look at relationship as like possessiveness. A lot of people look at relationship as ownership. A lot of people don't even look at their person as an individual, as an individual person. And a lot of people don't know how to trust. And a lot of people may have reasons to not trust their partner. So, I mean, there's that on top of it. So I definitely think that a lot of people are fooled in thinking that they have the security in themselves to be in an open relationship. And I think it sounds nice and I think it's trendy right now. Everybody wants to be poly, everybody wants to be open. A lot of people do not have the security. A lot of people do not have the confidence in themselves. A lot of people do not have the trust that's needed to be in a ethical non-monogamous relationship. And I think that's a reality a lot of people need to face before they agree to be in an open relationship. It is still okay to be in a monogamous relationship if that is what you feel is best for you. Because a lot of people are trying to hold on to something with their partner that a lot of people who don't even want to be in open relationships or don't even want to be in ethical non-monogamous relationships will agree to it just to save the relationship and be with their partner. But ultimately, that's not making you happy. And honestly, it's a recipe for disaster if you are somebody who gets jealous easy and gets insecure, and then you are causing problems with people who are hooking up or who are secondary to this relationship. You're causing problems with them and you're making them appear as a threat when they're just trying to hook up with their person and there's nothing more. But ultimately, at the end of the day, people do catch feelings. So that is something that can happen. That is a risk you take when you open up your relationship. And I think that you can't always control feelings. Like that could be somebody on the outside or somebody on the inside of the relationship. So that is a risk that you have to consider. And I think that's just something that a lot of people don't really think about when they're opening up their relationship. That there's so many feelings, there's so many things that you have to consider when you decide to make such a move. And it really should be a mutual interest, a mutual decision, honestly, especially if you are not secure enough in yourself and in your relationship to handle all the things and nuances that can happen when you are opening that door. And I think that also just comes with the fact that a lot of people, unfortunately, are just not emotionally intelligent. They don't have emotional intellect. A lot of people don't know how to look at things with duality and separate feelings from thoughts. And, it takes a lot of self-reflection, a lot of introspection to be able to handle an open relationship. So I feel like if you don't even feel like you're that attuned yet with your emotional emotional intellect, then really you should really be considering if that's something you would be able to do. It's hard. It's hard. I also think that a lot of people, well, a lot of gay men in open relationships, I also think a lot of gay men in open relationships sometimes don't even know what open relationship they want to be in. Like I said earlier, there's so many different types of open relationships that one person can want to be in like a regular open relationship where you both like each other's primary partners and everybody outside of this is secondary and they're just casual and it's just physical. But your partner could want to be polyfidelity where they want multiple loves, or they could be solo poly where they're more of an independent person but they have love connections with a bunch of different people, or they could be non-hierarchical where they don't see any love as more important. There is no primary and secondary, that all loves can be just as intense as another love. So there's so many different dynamics that I think some people in open relationships don't even be on the same accord of. They just know that they want to have connection with other people, but they don't always know how deep or how intense of a connection they want with other people. And I think that can cause problems too. And that's honestly the reason why me and my ex broke up, is because he wanted to be more solo poly or non-hierarchical poly where he had multiple loves and multiple connections with other people, where I was looking more for a regular open relationship where we're primary partners and we just have physical, casual connections with other people. Because honestly, I just don't think I always am going to want to have sex with you, so go have sex with somebody else. Or if I'm on vacation, I may want to hook up with somebody. That's kind of the relationship I was looking for, and he was looking for more of like, he's open to having multiple loves, and like I wouldn't have been just the primary partner. So that was one of the reasons why we decided that we no longer could be together. But we had to have that conversation and talk it through to get there. And that's one thing I love about the Polysecure book. One thing I love about this book is it really talks about the different dynamics and conversations you have to have, and the love communication that is key when it comes to having an open relationship, when it comes to having any relationship. Just talking about like what are the expectations of our relationship? What are the rules of our relationship? What are the boundaries within our relationship? What other things should we consider? How jealous do you get? Do you know how to manage your jealousy? Are you an insecure person? Are you not an insecure person? What is your attachment style? How do you show love? There's so many things you have to discuss and really dive deep in to really be able to be in a long-term relationship and a structured relationship that unfortunately a lot of people don't do. And I think figuring out what kind of open relationship or non-monogamous relationship you're looking for is key when you are building that type of relationship. And I think you really do have to read and research and really pull back the layers on what it really means to be in these type of relationships. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't do that, and that causes a lot of problems. And ultimately, the people that are not in these relationships, the single people that are out here living our best lives and are just looking for a casual hookup or a casual connection, sometimes we're the ones that get burned the most, just because we are the people y'all are trying to be engaged with, or we're the people that you guys fall in love with, or you start building a connection with, and your man gets mad at me because I'm just your friend, but you clearly have some feelings for me, and then I didn't know, and then it just becomes this big mess. Or I'm on vacation and I'm just hooking up, and then I find out you have a husband, and then your husband's mad at me because I didn't know y'all were in an open relationship. Or y'all might be in an open relationship, but maybe he has to approve of the person before you guys hook up, or maybe you guys only play together, things like that. We don't be knowing the rules, and if you guys don't tell us the rules, how are we supposed to know? But then you're pulling us to drama, and at the end of the day, people don't be wanting drama. I don't want drama. I don't want to have to fight your man or get into some altercation or get in a yelling match with your man, because ultimately I don't care. And at the end of the day, I can't control how you feel about me or how anybody feels about me, but at the end of the day, at least respect me enough to give me the real tea and let me know what the heck is going on, because that's not fair to us. That's not fair to people outside the relationship. And at the end of the day, we don't know what we don't know. But I will say one thing I learned is going forward, I'm always asking people if they're in a relationship, and if you're in an open relationship, what is the setup? What are the rules? What are the boundaries? Because I don't have time for drama. I don't have time for mess. And if I feel like you're fumbling over your words and you can't get to it, on to the next. I'm sorry. On to the next. And ultimately, I just really think it is easier just, if you're single, to operate with somebody single. Like, it is a sexy fantasy to hook up with two guys. Like, it is fun when I've done that. I'm not saying I won't do it again. It is fun, to hook up with two guys and hook up with couples. And even when I was in as a couple for a brief period, to hook up with other couples, that was fun. It is fun. But all the mess and the drama that comes with it is not fun. And you never want to be in a situation where now you have to decipher and figure out what's going on because you weren't told the right information. That is not fun, and people need to know how to communicate. I don't know why it's so hard for people to communicate. Let people know what expectations are. Let people know what boundaries are. If that person in your relationship is so special to you, then you should treat it as such. But the thing is, a lot of people like to be sneaky. A lot of people like to be dodgy. A lot of people like to sugarcoat what the situation actually is, and that's what makes all this so more frustrating. And at the end of the day, men are always going to be men. You know, I love being gay and all that, but men are still men, and men are gonna be sneaky. They're gonna lie. They're gonna not tell the whole truth, and they are don't care if you get involved in their drama or not, which is so annoying. So you guys can take this as advice. You guys can take this as me sharing my experience. Like I said, this is my experience. I'm not dogging all men in gay relationships, but these are some of the nuances and some of the frustrations that I've had. And I definitely would challenge all of y'all when you guys are hooking up with guys to really ask the questions. Are you in a relationship? If you are in an open relationship, what kind of open relationship is it? Just to minimize any potential drama that you have, because being caught up in some stupid love triangle that you didn't even think you were a part of is not fun at all. So guys, if you like this content, if you like this video, be sure to like, be sure to comment. As I said, share your experiences if you have been in a non-monogamous relationship, if you currently are in an open relationship, open marriage, poly solo, poly hierarchical, all the things, whatever you're in, let me know. If you are a single person and you deal with some of these frustrations too when you are hooking up and when you're casually out in the world dating or doing whatever, you have these issues with open relationship guys, let me know too. I'm curious to know what some of your stories are, if you guys can relate to some of the frustrations that I've had when it comes to connecting with these type of men. Please let me know. And as always guys, please do your best to stay safe and stay positive out there. I know this world is getting crazier and crazier by the minute, but please, please, please do your best to stay safe and stay positive. And as always guys, I will see you guys on the next video.